Hello, folks. She's at it again. So there is this girl in Pruvit, a girl, lady, woman. I'm in my 30s. I'm too old to say girl. Anyways, someone sent me this video of her like sob story. You know, we love a good MLM sob story, come up story. How I started in this company. Who needs to post a video about how they got hired or started working for a company? Like, that's weird. All right, friends, per usual, before we get too far into this video, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is Scentbird. So thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video, but also being a continuous and frequent sponsor of my channel in general. If you don't know, you're clearly living under a rock, and probably a stinky one at that. Scentbird is a subscription fragrance service where every month you have the chance to shop for, experience, purchase, and discover new fragrances. Let me tell you, there have been so many scents that I've gotten from Scentbird that they've sent me where I'm obsessed with them. And then I go ahead and buy the full bottle because, let's be honest, some of these perfumes, to get a big bottle, is a little bit expensive. But thanks to Scentbird, not only do you get to try it out before, you get more than just like a travel size or like a sample size, because they are typically like 30-day bottles, which personally I think that it's a little bit longer than that because mine typically lasts me more than 30 days. And Scentbird lets you try new designer fragrances every month. You can be surprised. You can take a quiz in case you don't know what you want, or you can pick your own. And that's for only $17 a month, which is saving you a lot of money. And you'll save more with my code, but stay tuned on that. And that's a really flexible subscription too. You can cancel it, you can push it out, you can skip a month if you want. And they have a lot of different fragrances to choose from. Luxury brands like Prada and Gucci and Versace, and then great indie brands as well, like Skylar and Confessions of a Rebel too, and many, many, many more. And if you use my promo code, I am CCSUAREZ 55, which is on the screen, you can actually get 55% off of your first month with Scentbird. And then also I'll have a QR code on the screen as well, just in case you want to scan that, and you can go ahead and get 55% off. And again, that is for your first month. And the ones they sent me this month, I'll have them all linked down below. And it seemed like y'all liked when I put like a picture of the big bottle and like the name of it on this side. So I'll do that too. But we have, I'm probably going to butcher the names of them because I always do, because words are hard. So we have Love Me by Taus, something like that. Oh, I like that. And then we have, Sexy Amber by Michael Kors. Oh, girl. They named it correctly. That is a sexy scent. You know what? We're just gonna put the name on the screen. Scion? Just kidding, it's called Keon. Let's see if this one passed the Tony test. No, spray it. Oh, smart. Oh, good, right? Mm-hmm. So my favorite is the Michael Kors Sexy Amber one, and then I think Tony likes that one, and then the Love Me Taus, however you say it. Make sure that you use the code I am CCSUAREZ, all caps, 55 at checkout for your first month of Scentbird at 55% off. Oh, by the way, I'm Chelsea. I don't know if you know, oh God. Oh, by the way, I'm Chelsea. I don't know if you know that, but hello, this is me. I am Chelsea. And this is my channel. Welcome. I'm just a lady with a bulldog and a camera, and that's it. Okay? This is all my own opinion, has nothing to do with these people specifically. They're just an example. Please don't attack anyone. I would really appreciate that if you would not do that, because that's real uncool if you do that. Okay, thanks. Let's get into it. So as we all know, multi-level marketing companies are poo, in my opinion, and mostly the opinion of y'all as well. And Pruvit is the ketones multi-level marketing company. Now, ketones, the supplement, that doesn't put your body in ketosis. No, only your own body can do that. Only your, is it your kidneys? I don't know. What am I, a scientist? So only your body can do that, and drinking a ketone supplement isn't going to do that. The science is there. It's been proven many, many times over and over again. Are really just like pre-workouts. Like, have these people never taken a pre-workout? Pre-workout's awesome. You know how much I wish I could take a pre-workout? I cannot wait to take my pre again and go to the gym. It's gonna be great, but I can't do that right now because I'm a vessel for life. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Also, just another little precursor? I don't know. This is one of the people that last year got really, really, really upset with me because I said that what she was saying was false regarding ketone supplements. because they don't put you in ketosis. Like, again, that has been proven many times. And she went off on me and was just trauma dumping. And it was so spooky. You would have thought that I like specifically was like so rude to her and so mean. And then she like went off and tagged me in the Instagram stories, and I watched them and I was like, what did I say about this person? Like, I was shooketh. I was shook to my core and so confused. I was like, what did I say? Like, am I going to get myself canceled? Like, I must have like really been like rude. What did I do? Did I black out again? What happened? And I rewatched it and I was like, oh, I talked about you like the shortest amount of time in the video. And also I didn't say anything about you personally. I just said that what you're saying about the products you're shilling is wrong. Like, what? So strange. I was probably the nicest to her out of all the people that I was roasting in that video. Anyways, let's get into it.
Hello. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Oh man, we are stuck home because of snow again for the second time in a week. And Zephyr missed school yesterday because he was sick, and so now he's missing another day, and it is just throwing me for a loop. However, it looks so beautiful and it's so peaceful.
Did she say Zephyr? Did she name her kid Zephyr? Like Zephyr Hills? Like the water company? We're not going to comment on that because we are not going to shame people for the dumb names that they name their kids. And especially not going to come after the kid for it because, like, you don't choose what your name is. What is the most unhinged name that you have ever heard? Like, from anyone? Come on, share it in the comments.
So I can't help but smile, and I'm glad that I get some more time with him now that he's not sick. And then his cousin is over as well. So if you hear any background noise, it's just them being boys. But oh my gosh, I'm excited to come on here and share this with you because I feel like I haven't talked about this in a really, really long time. And then there's like new elements to it that I've never talked about before because I've really, really been dreaming so big. But before I get started, please in the comments, let me know where you're tuning in from. What is the weather like where you're at? I'm so curious.
This is not me shaming. This is just a fact. Typically, this person has like very low engagement on their Instagram and their feeds and stuff. And I just want to say, like, that's got to be so defeating. I've been there. I mean, two of my moderators, Christy and Tanya, can tell you. I mean, they've been with me since like the beginning of my channel. They can tell you I used to do live streams and there'd be like less than 10 people in the live stream. But girl, I was still doing them. I was still doing that get ready with me or that get unready with me or like whatever type of video. I was still there. I was still doing it. And yeah, it was like very defeating, but you just keep on going. You got to start somewhere. I really don't think that people in MLMs realize though that most of their audience is not only like, yeah, their family and like their personal friends and stuff, but people that are already in network marketing. So it's like those people aren't your target audience. So like, why are they going to listen to your sob story? Why are they going to listen to your pitch when like they're already in an MLM or in the same MLM as you or on your team or something like that? So it's real weird. Like, it seems like a lot of people in multi-level marketing companies don't realize that at all, which is crazy because how they pitch their product, their opportunity, what they're trying to sell, how they do that is social media. So you would think that they would like get it better, but they don't.
Is it snowy? Is it hot? One of my best friends, she lives in North Carolina and it's freaking 80 degrees there right now, which is crazy. And then I just look outside and I'm like, oh, it's like 32 degrees.
We're going to have to speed this up to 1.25. I'm not going to be crazy and go to 1.5 because I have had a few of y'all be like, that's too fast. She does talk so slow though, and I just can't. I do like this black wall behind her. In my next office, I think I'm going to like paint some dark colors. I'm excited.
So let me know. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about my Pruvit promoter story because I like never do. Snowy Washu, you guys probably have a lot too. I feel like you guys are up a little bit more in elevation than we are here in the center. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my Pruvit promoter journey and like why I started. I've been a promoter with Pruvit for 6 years now, a little over 6 years. That's good. And my entire life has changed for the better because of this opportunity. And I don't share that enough. I talk about ketones. I share up my shakeups in my stories. A lot of you are in my keto icons group here, but I just don't share this side a lot, especially after last year. I really allowed an internet troll to dictate the way that I talked about my story. And for a long time, I had like imposter syndrome, or
it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. It probably isn't me, but you know, it doesn't that seem so weird though, like to blow that so out of proportion. That would be crazy if she was talking about me. Weird. Anyways, I've actually only watched half of this because I was watching it and then I had to go to the bathroom like 6 times. And then I had to take Wickham outside, and then we sat in the sun for like 10 minutes. So I've only watched half of this so far.
Like, I shouldn't share these things because I felt like I was being annoying or bragging or whatever. But really, like, this is my truth. This is my life. This is my story. And as you can see from the achievements and the trophies behind me, like, it's absolutely my truth. Like, and it's something that I need to be more proud about sharing because if it changed my life this way, then it can change any single one of you that's watching your life, right? In one way or another, even if it's not to the level that that I have achieved, right?
This is all alleged and anecdotal evidence, but people that do know this girl personally, I know I always say like, this is not about them personally. They're just an example. But if someone is telling me something and they are close to this person and do know something specific about them that does contradict everything that they're saying, I think that is very important to understand. For instance, she said that like her life has changed so much, and in another reel that we reacted to, it was either like top fails, one of the top fails in like the 90s, not like 1990, but like top fails 90 to whatever one we're at now. So in one of those, she was like, oh, we got to, buy our dream house because of this company, or because of the income that I make from this company. It's like, well, that's tricky because it's probably just because you are showing an income now, but also wouldn't you have to be with that company for at least 2 years? And then also even more than that, your husband is in the military and you live on base. So, and that's not me doxing her. She specifically shows all of that on her Instagram. You can just go to it and look. Keep that in mind. I'm sure she'll probably say like, oh my God, you doxed me, you put me in danger. You live on a military base. Who's gonna go there? That's not open to the public. Also, you show that. So I just find it very interesting that people who, do know her personally and are within like 1 to 2 degrees of separation of her personally have said like, no, they survive off of his income, like his military income and all that.
So when I actually got started with Pruvit 6 years ago, we were in a major bankruptcy, you guys. Like, I mean, we didn't have a whole dollar to our name. We were being sued for my medical debt. I didn't have medical insurance for many, many years. And if you know anything about my story, you know that I've
said many times. Y'all know where I stand when it comes to insurance. Our healthcare system in the US, if you're not in the US, just know that our healthcare system blows. So I get it. I'm there with you. The only debt that I've had was because of medical debt. And it sucked. I got in pretty, like, my credit's not that great. I've been doing pretty good working on it. It's not that great because of early in my 20s. It's crazy because it's like, girl, that was 10 years ago. What? Like, early in my 20s, had to pay for a lot of stuff out of pocket and I had to put it on credit cards. And then that just, snowballs and snowballs and it just sucks. And then it goes to collections and blah, blah, blah. And it just is awful. So I understand her pain there. I get it. But also something that a lot of people have brought up is like, but you've been in MLMs for like ever. If you had like a normal job, traditional job where you do get benefits, like you'd be able to possibly have that covered. I know insurance doesn't cover everything, but arguably, if her husband is active military, which if they live on base, he is. Maybe she wasn't married to him at this time. I'm not sure. I don't know that timeline. But baby, if you got TRICARE Prime, come on. They cover everything.
Multiple chronic illness and autoimmune issues. And because I didn't have insurance, I didn't have a means to see a doctor regularly. So my issues would have to get so bad that they would put me in the hospital. And this happened often. And I'm talking like I had $750,000 in debt and we were being sued for just under $500,000 because that statute of limitations was up and they wanted to collect, right? And
At the time, I was with another company. I'm not going to name it, but it rhymes with Schmidt Schmerks.
I'm not going to name it, but I'm also going to absolutely make it to where you know exactly which one it is. So yes, she said that she was with another MLM at that time. And it's like, again, if you worked for like a traditional company job where you had benefits, a lot of these things could have been covered for you.
And we sold those crazy whack things. And none of my products worked, okay? They did not work. I was not yielding results, and I couldn't figure out why nobody would want to buy a $25 product from me, okay? It was ridiculous. I was with them for 3 years, and just a lot of the cattiness and the bullshit and the weird culture, and like I always felt like I was a little bit out of place with them because my values didn't align with a lot of the leaders in the company or even the values of the company itself, but I felt very, very stuck, and I felt like I couldn't quit.
Because it's completely different and Pruvit, right? So if you're putting forward this facade in that company and, you know, promoting the products that you even just said don't work, but at that time, were you saying that they did work? Most likely. It's the same cycle that we've talked about multiple times, especially with the people who have left iGenius and gone to Q Sciences or Monate and gone to Q Sciences or any MLM, you know, gone to a different one. Discredit the last MLM, the last experience in order to promote the new one. And say like, oh, well, you know, all of this happened, blah, blah. And it's like, but you were lying though. All that was happening behind the scenes. You were saying that you were making so much money and that this was the best opportunity when in reality it wasn't. And I understand they were manipulated, whatever, like they came out of it. But now how do we know they're not doing the exact same thing? Cause she can say all day long, like, no, these products are amazing. I'm in ketosis constantly. No, you're not. You would have almost 0% body fat if that was true. And you don't. I don't either, girl. Okay. I don't either. Don't come at me like that. I know there are going to be people who are like, oh, don't talk about bodies. In this context, that matters because you're saying that the product puts you in ketosis within 50 seconds or whatever, that you're constantly in ketosis as long as you're taking these products, but you're not, because if you were, the way ketosis works, you would be burning off that fat very quickly. And look at everyone in Pruvit. Not everyone in the company looks like they have 0 body fat. So it's not true at all.
Because so many people came on with me, and I was essentially just sticking it out for them at that point. But I was not making hardly any money at all. Domingo was at a different job than he has currently, and making hardly anything. And so when they started garnishing his paychecks, and we had to file for a Chapter 7, I think. Yeah, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is a full bankruptcy. There's no payback. Like, they just wipe your debt out if you prove that you absolutely cannot pay it in a million years under your current circumstances.
If your upline is not making any money, there's a great chance that you are not making any money either if you're below them, right? So why are you sticking it out for the people below you when you're not making any money and neither are them, or neither are they?
We would still be paying on that today, honestly, if we did a Chapter 11. But anyway, so we were broke and we were struggling. We could hardly put food on our table. We always had to ask for like energy assistance. We had food stamps for a while. Like, it was really, really tough. Phones were constantly getting shut off.
I don't want to discredit what she went through. I do think that it does take a lot to share this type of information. It definitely can be embarrassing to share that. But also, we need to look at the fact of, why is she sharing this? It's a rags to riches story. She's trying to, in my opinion, relate to people and be like, I'm just like you, or I was just like you, and then this opportunity changed my life. Are you poor? Are your phones getting shut off? Can you not eat? Well, I couldn't either. So join this company under me and you'll be making a lot of money and you'll have a better life. From what I'm hearing, her husband he enlisted. He joined the military and they got good benefits. I don't know if they were married at the time. It sounds like they were, if they both had to file for, if they had to file for bankruptcy together. It sounds like they were married. Yeah, he joined the military. It sounds like that solved a lot of your issues. Not you joining a different MLM. I know this can sound a little bit misogynistic, but so I'm not going to say to discredit your husband, but to discredit your spouse and the work that they've put in, if that is what's happening here. I'm not with her. I don't know. But to discredit them in that way is just giving me the ick, you know?
Shut off. Internet was constantly getting shut off. We would be scraping dimes and nickels to put in the gas tank for Domingo to go to work. I didn't even have my own vehicle at the time because I didn't even have a driver's license. So I was just stuck at home with Zephyr 24/7 while my husband worked swing shift. And it was lonely and infuriating, and I felt like I couldn't talk about it. I wasn't actually allowed to talk about it publicly because it would have made my company look bad, which is some shit, right? Like, oh, thank you. I know you've been a ride or die follower for a long time, so you know firsthand just like how true this story is, which is so cool. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. But yeah, I hated what I was a part of, right? And I was just zapped for energy. I was homesick for my family who was sitting right in front of me because I just was not like mentally or emotionally present. Didn't have the energy to play with my son who was 4 years old at the time. And it was just, it was not a good time. I was like severely overweight, you name it. Felt a lot of shame going around people I knew because I was disgusted in the way that I looked, like the whole shebang, right? Like it was just not a good time in our life. And when my friend told me that she had been using ketones on the DL.
What she's describing right now is that she was in not a good place, and that makes me real sad. That's a sad story to hear and really sad to go through for sure. And then my friend told me that she was taking ketones. Maybe they didn't know, but they most likely knew that all this was happening to you, that you were going through all this, a really hard time from what it sounds like. And they saw you as a dollar sign and took advantage of that. And they knew that you would be chomping at the bit because they knew you were desperate. That is so sad.
I was like, okay, but are they actually going to work? Because you told me that these other products were going to work, and here I am 3 years later, and I'm still fat and I'm still broke, right? And she's like, no, seriously, try this stuff. Sent me some information on it, and I was like, homegirl, I'm looking at the prices of these products, and I can't even afford fucking toothpaste, right? Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. She's like, well, I'm gonna bring you some of mine. You just have to try it. And so she brought me some of hers to try. We all got the original Orange Dream in little Ziploc baggies. It looked pretty incriminating. I'm not gonna lie. Those early phases of Pruvit were super wild, but I got some, my husband got some, my mom got some, and then my other friend that was there got some, and we were just talking about the potential opportunity that was attached to it. And it was all very intriguing, but I was like, I'm really scared. Like, I'm so scared. What are people gonna think? Like, what if this stuff doesn't even work for me? You know, she's like, oh, just shut up and try it in the morning. So I got up the next morning, I tried it, and about an hour later, like, I had so much energy to do things. Like, I popped up off my couch like it was nothing.
Sounds like a pre-workout. You should just take a pre-workout. Pre-workout's awesome. Consult with your doctor.
Y'all know the whole background of that and like my bodily malfunctions, right? So I just popped up off the couch like it was nothing. I was like shook over it, went and did the dishes. I avoid them like the plague, and we didn't have a dishwasher at the time. So standing there and doing them actually was very detrimental to my back pain. But I did it. And then I put my laundry away, which was another chore that I avoid like the plague. Like, if I had it my way, I would keep my laundry wadded up in a freaking basket neatly in my closet and never put anything away ever. But my husband just...
Sounds like ADHD and anxiety and depression is what you got. Because same. I'm not a medical professional. Stop. I'm just talking about my own experience because same. But girl, when I get those manic bursts of energy, like naturally, because that's how anxiety works. Or how ADHD works, all of it together. It's quite the concoction. But yeah, girl, when I get that energy, like I got today, I was like, I gotta film. Because I'm not going to be able to move tomorrow. I know it. And you bet your ass after I film 6 videos today, I'm doing it. I am 100% going to do the dishes because I need to today because they've been in there for like 3 days. Disgusting, I know. And then I'm going to fold my laundry.
And my husband was like, what is going on? What are you doing? And he wasn't having the same experience that I was having. He needed a little bit more ketones in his system because he's 6'7". So that original formula really wasn't hitting him the same way that it was hitting me. And he also doesn't have like overwhelming fatigue and all of that stuff. So I was having a completely like off the charts experience, and he was just like looking at me like I had 27 heads. And I was like, yeah, we should take Zephyr to go do something. Like we have to do, like, I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was so excited. And I was like, okay, if I feel this way, that must mean other people are going to feel this way. And my mom was also there, and she was feeling really good. And something that I noticed about her, she wasn't having issues connecting her thoughts to her mouth when she was speaking, because normally when she would speak to me, she would get lost in her thoughts and just like complete.
Could you try again?
Oh, my Siri thinks that I'm talking to it. Sorry, but my mom, she would just get lost in her sentences and completely forget what she was talking about, like mid-sentence, and then she would just stare into space, and I'd be like, hello, Mom, but she was like speaking fluently to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I feel so good. I was like, I know. And then my other friend that got some, she called me. She's like, what is in this shit? This is like crack. What? Is this even legal? And I was like, holy crap. So I was like, if we feel like this, that must mean other people are feeling like this. I already know that my friend who gave this to me is feeling like this. And what I'm currently doing right now is not making me feel this way. I cannot continue to push a product that is not genuinely serving me. I cannot continue to fake a smile and pretend like everything's okay when it's not. 1 second longer, I have to share this with other people. So something that really, really grabbed my attention with this opportunity was that we had like exponential opportunities to earn these insane bonuses. And I know for a lot of people, especially people that have been in MLM before or have been approached by somebody in MLM or direct sales, and the word bonus is kind of taboo, right? I get it.
The word bonus ain't taboo. The word multi-level marketing is taboo.
Last company pushed these bonuses and they ended up being bogus. Like they were so bogus, but I just had a feeling with this and I had to roll with it. And then when I saw, because if you know that my whole life I had this crazy dream of owning a Mercedes, right? And when I saw that this opportunity had an allowance for a car bonus when you get to a certain level, and then Mercedes was like right there at the top of the list, that dream, that thought suddenly became more real to me. It became more tangible, more achievable to me. And I was very excited. Wow, my throat is dry. Patricia, let's talk about it because there are ways to go about this. I 100% understand how you feel because like when we got started, I had nothing. And so I would love to have a conversation with you about it because it's game changing and there are so many different ways we could do this. So get in my inbox after this live and we'll talk more about it, okay? But yeah, like I got really, really excited. And so luckily at the time, it was completely free to join because Pruvit had just opened to the public after being like kind of behind the scenes on the DL, building the network and the foundation and all of that stuff, like all companies do. But they just opened to the public. So it was free to join. I didn't have to get started with any product, which was nice because at the time we didn't have all of the packs and stuff that we do now. And we certainly didn't have anything that was like affordable to get started with at the time. We just had like this massive pack that was like thousands of dollars. So we have come a long way since then. But so I got started and immediately went to work.
I did not know that she had been in the company for, I mean, she said 6 years, but I didn't think she'd been in it since like the beginning. That's crazy. You would think that if you've been in it for that long, you'd be at like tippy top of it, but I don't think she is.
I started talking to everybody about this stuff and like it was shocking just how excited other people were, just because they noticed the difference in me. Just because they noticed the difference in me and the way that I was speaking to them and my posture, and like I was seeing like physical results that I could show people, you know. And so I hit all of these amazing bonuses in the very beginning, which are even better now, let me tell you. And we went from being in the middle of a bankruptcy to having our bankruptcy discharged and then having all of this extra money on the table to help pay the bills that we were behind in because of the bankruptcy. and we were able to get food and all of that. So it was absolutely amazing and game-changing, just what those couple $1,000 could do for us. Because at that point, like $500 to $1,000 was a lot of money. That was everything to us, and it was the most money I had ever earned in a lump sum in my history of network marketing. So like then I got really, really excited, right? And then eventually I went, a couple months later, I went rank 6 Circle of Champions, and Circle of Champions is our like upper leadership levels, and it was incredible experience. And like honestly, being a new person in Pruvit is like the funnest. It is the funnest. There's so much to go after. But now fast forward, right? I was able to buy my very first car. I finally had gotten my driver's license. I got my very first car, which was a 2017 Ford Fiesta, which is not bad for a first car, like at all, right? I didn't have to drive a hoopty or anything like that. Well, I did drive my husband's Honda for a little bit. I take that back. I did drive the Honda for a little bit, but then it started acting crazy and I was like,
I can't stand when people in MLMs or people in general, like just this forced capitalism mindset. Hate that word. I know they've ruined it for me. But that type of thought process, that type of thinking where what you have, your materialistic things are what's important and it's what adds value to your life. And that's complete BS. Like it literally does not matter. I will probably be driving a Volkswagen until I die, because guess what? In my opinion, and it's the only type of car I've had, I've driven others, but like in my name, it's all I've had. Like they're reliable. They get you from A to B. Does your car get you from A to B? Do you have air conditioning? You got a radio? Great. Does it keep you safe? Is it a safe car? Wonderful. Like, why do you need to have like this status symbol or like this expensive, like whatever? Like no one cares. And if people do care what car you drive, get them out of your life, because that means nothing.
I ain't doing this. I'm buying a car. Did that. And then after 2 years, traded it in. And now I drive my Mercedes, you guys. Like that dream, that thought became a reality because of Pruvit. And I'm so grateful for it every single day. Every single time I get into my car and buckle my seatbelt, it does this like crazy like thing, and it's like it's giving me a hug, and I'm like, oh, I love you too. I am very material driven. I'm just gonna be honest. I have no shame in that. I love things. But I also love experiences. And so with Pruvit, I've been able to both get the material things, so my Mercedes, and other things that I always wanted. Like I always wanted like a MacBook and an iPhone.
And that's okay. You can like material things. You can be materialistic. That doesn't matter. That's fine. But also, in my opinion, if you're using that as a marketing tactic, that's dumb. You shouldn't do that. And that's just not okay. But also, how's your relationship with money? And also something I want to mention is that those cars are so expensive to get fixed.
iPhone and things like that. And I was able to do that because of Pruvit. And then a year ago, March 30th, we're coming up on a year, you guys, I can't believe it. We closed on our very first home, because of Pruvit. And I love this home with everything in me. It's my very first, and I know it's not going to be my last. And that's what leads me to, hi.
We closed on our first home. Isn't it on the base? But like, isn't it paid for by like with the benefits? Don't you get like a stipend or a housing allowance? Like, and I'm not saying her income like can't contribute to that. It absolutely can. Lying by omission, meaning leaving out key points, is still lying.
Hi. That's what leads me to where I'm going. What is my vision? We've been dream casting a lot, my husband and I, together. And the thing that we landed on was that within the next like 5-10 years,
dream casting, like Sega,
we want to actually build our dream home, because I mean, yes, we love our house, but we want land. There's a lot more things that we want to be able to do that just being in a little cookie cutter neighborhood isn't going to accomplish for us. So we want to build our dream home with land for a farm animal sanctuary. You guys know I love cows. You know I love donkeys, and like
living for that. Love that for her. Absolutely. Did y'all know that donkeys are like basically guard dogs? I love cows as well. Katie, round of applause to you. I hope you get to do that, because that's awesome. I'm assuming what she means by like animal sanctuary type thing is like just you would have property and then you would like have like you're buying those animals and just like having them as pets, basically just like letting them live there. I know that sounds like, well, no duh, but a lot of people like don't understand that. Like, for instance, whenever I'm like, yeah, I want cows, a lot of people are like, oh, well, and then, you know, they get big enough and you'd sell them, right? And it's like, no, I would keep them forever. Like, they live here. These are my pets. Same, girl, same. Why you gotta call it dream casting? What? Like, it's the MLM industry and this whole just like that they make everything so just like woo woo. Like, I feel like I'm a translator at this point. We've been dream casting a lot. You mean discussing what you want in your future? You don't need to call it dream casting.
All of the adorable little farm animals, but I want a sanctuary so I can rescue like cows and other like livestock and save them from slaughter. I follow lots of Instagram accounts that are like this.
Follow the Useless Farm on Instagram. She's hilarious. But also same. I feel ya. I'm gonna do that too. That won't be this house that we're hopefully buying within the next 2 months. It'll be our next house in like 10 years. So we can get land.
Been really, really inspiring for me watching these cows go from having like just being bred to have babies and having their babies taken away from them so that humans can consume their milk, and then being thrown away, sent to slaughter like they're nothing after just a couple of years. Did you guys know that cows can live up to 20 years old, but their average lifespan is 3 to 5 because of the dairy and meat industry? That's crazy. So I want to save them. I want to save all of the ones that I can.
There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Okay. Also, not everyone wants to not eat any meat and stuff like that. So eat what you want, do what you want. It's fine. You're going to be okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Give them a place to live their best lives, have babies, and actually be able to be parents to them, right? Because could you imagine having a baby and having it taken away from you just for your milk? I couldn't. And I couldn't imagine doing that to an animal. So that's a huge dream of mine. And then I love my Mercedes, but I also really, really, really love Porsche Cayennes. I really want one. And so that's on my dream. And then I seriously want to make multiple 5 figures every single month. Multiple 5 figures. I've already crossed the threshold into being a 5-figure income earner, but I want to make multiple 5 figures in a month for a slew of reasons, not just.
So if she wants multiple 5 figures, what is that? I mean, 5 figures is 10,000, right? Yeah, 10,000 or more. So she wants multiple of that, so 20K or more a month. Girl, that's not your profit. I mean, we already know that. Does she have an account set up like for her husband? Does she have that ghost account? And how much of that is your downline? Like, how are you gonna have a Porsche and like a farm? That shit don't get so dirty. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I'd say like the most I've made from YouTube in a month is like 16,000, 17,000. And that's like everything. Like, not just AdSense, sponsorships, affiliate links, like merch, other stuff, and that's revenue. That's not profit.
Dreams and things that I would like to be able to do with that money, right? And then, of course, creating my dream team of people that maybe you don't want to make multiple 5 figures. Maybe you don't want to drive a Mercedes. Maybe you just want to bridge the gap between from where you are now, from where you would like to be to live a little bit more peacefully and comfortably, because let's face it, the economy that we have, there's a whole lot more month left at the end of paychecks, right? And with the rising cost in groceries and the unpredictable gas prices and the insane freaking interest on home loans and car loans and all of the things that we should be.
Didn't interest rates just go down? I think so, right?
Word with the hourly wages that are out there, like the minimum wage at Popeyes up the street is like $15, $16. There are people that went to college and got master's degrees and make that much.
They are guaranteed that money after they work. You know who's not guaranteed a paycheck? People who work in MLMs. Also, if you have a master's degree and you are working at a fast food place, there's nothing wrong with working at a fast food place. I implore you to go out for management, to talk to the corporate side, as fast as you can, because they will most likely want to fast track you or put you in a position of, I don't want to say power, but a position, a management position, something like that.
And they can't survive. Rent, outrageous. There's a new apartment complex like 3 blocks up the street from me, and they just built it, and the rent is insane. Insane. For like a 1-bedroom apartment, I think it's like $2,500. Y'all, when Zephyr was born, we moved into a 4-bedroom house. A 4-bedroom house. Had a whole finished basement, 2 bathrooms, giant backyard, huge garage, built in the 1940s, newly renovated. We paid $1,350 for that house 10 and a half years ago. You can't even get a studio apartment for that price anymore.
I thought y'all were struggling 10 and a half years ago. You joined Pruvit 6 years ago, and when your kid was a baby, and before that, you said that you were struggling so much that you couldn't pay for anything. So, and also, yes, 10 years ago, that's how inflation works. That's how time works. Prices are gonna go up.
And every once in a while, like, I'll check in on like rent.com or whatever and look at the places that we used to live to see how much they are now. There was a 3-bedroom townhouse that we lived in. I lived in with my mom and my brother when I was in high school. And I think the rent was like $900. It's like almost $4,000 for that same townhouse.
Yeah, because it's been 15 years. What are you talking about? Obviously, like, this is such like nonsensical trying to, in my opinion, trying to like relate to someone and be like, we're all in the same boat. Inflation. Am I right? Yeah, we get it. We're there too. But the average profit of being in an MLM has still been 0 all these years, babe. Average profit is 0, doesn't pay the bills.
That we moved into when I was 15. So 16 years ago. What? It's just not sustainable. So it's the smart play.
You know what's also not sustainable? Working in an MLM. Back then, those same employees at Popeyes, they were probably making around $7.50 an hour. So like, that's how inflation works. Cost of living goes up. Unfortunately, the minimum wage doesn't always go up like the same, like, you know, at the same rate as that. But yes, it more slowly does go up. What you're saying doesn't really make sense. Again, what hasn't gone up is the average profit if you're in an MLM.
To have something that will bridge the gap. I will never pressure you or make you feel like you have to quit your job and become a stay-at-home mom and retire your husband and all of that fluffy shit. Like, I understand people love their careers, but they just need a little bit more. So if that's not for you, then that's not for you. But I want to help you.
You need just a little bit more for all those goals and the cows and the Porsche and all the stuff that you want to happen. That's why you want to get people to join. And of course, you're not going to pressure them or get them to like yell at them to join, because that's not being a good salesperson, which in my opinion, she isn't a good salesperson. But that would be extremely off-putting if you were to do certain things like that.
You create something a little bit more stable for your household. Right? I see y'all's posts.
How is paying anywhere from $30 to $100 a month on trials, on samples, on products every month, and possibly not earning any money, not being guaranteed any extra money for all the time and effort and work you put in? How is that more sustainable, more reliable than clocking in and clocking out and getting paid for your time and potentially getting bonuses and stuff like that?
About egg prices and milk prices and all of this stuff that you should be able to afford. I see it, right? And I want to give you an opportunity to bridge that gap. So right now, we have something called the Dollar Keto Club that I would love to talk to you about, and it's for anybody that wants to become a new promoter. I have a guest pass group here on Facebook that I would love to invite you to and get more information to you. So if you're interested, you can drop it in the comments. If you don't want to drop it in the comments and you want to keep it a little bit more on the DL just because you're not super sure and you want to dip your toe in and don't want anybody to know, that's totally fine. It's totally fine. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but get into my DMs. We'll talk about it. I'll get you an invite with more information. But yeah. I just couldn't go another day without talking about this because I don't talk about it enough. And I feel so bad about that. I feel like I'm gatekeeping an incredible opportunity for so many of you. So
girl boss, gatekeep, gaslight, baby. You feel like you're gatekeeping. It sounds like she just watched a Jessie Lee Ward video where, like, that's something that Jessie Lee Ward says all the time, where she's like, how dare you hold this opportunity to yourself? And how dare you be selfish and not share it with others? It's like, what? How backwards is that? How dare you not recruit your friends and family and everyone else on the planet into this potential scam and false opportunity? How dare you? How dare you not omit information for your own financial gain?
Who have made it this far in my life, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for lending me your time. I love y'all. I promise you I'm going to go live a lot more. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Have a great day.
Promise you're going to go live a lot more. Well, thank you, Katie. I love that for me. That's great. Doesn't seem like she was as unhinged as she usually is, which is great. That's wonderful. Good for her. That's actually, like, when I say good for her, I mean actually, like, that is a better look for her if she's trying to, like, sell this, because a lot of times what they don't realize is, like, when you are coming off unhinged and, you know, getting mad in your Instagram stories about anything happening in the industry that they're in, you know, about someone calling you out or someone, you know, objections in general, that does not entice people to join you. That entices people to stay far away because they're like, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I don't want to have that stress. Like, look at how stressed out this person is because someone called them out on something, or because they're, you know, subject to be putting in YouTube videos because they post all this all the time and publicly. I don't want to do that. I do just want to say at the beginning of this video, I did say, like, mention her son's name. I mean, she mentioned it multiple times too, but I was like, is that her son's name? What? Did she name her kid that? And then that's not a common name. That's okay. Go for it. Whatever you want to name your kid, okay. I wasn't making fun of it, just to make that clear, because I know there will be some people who say that. I wasn't. Name your kid whatever you want. Just remember that they have to live with that for the rest of their life. Unless they change it. But yeah, a lot of inconsistencies, especially from what the anecdotal things that I have heard from people that are within close proximity to her and her family. And then also just, like, from her own story too. It's just very interesting to see inconsistencies. Anyways, if you have anything you would like me to react to, girl, send it on over. Send it on over. Come on. Follow the directions in the description box down below to send me over whatever you would like. Please, 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 please. It helps me get out more content and I really appreciate you. Remember how valuable you are, how spicy you are. Please don't fall for this. My rule of thumb always is if someone's in your DMs, if someone's on social media, if someone's trying to get you to do the same thing they do, or be like, I can teach you how to do this, what's in it for them? Why? Why are they trying to get you to sign up for something? Why? What is their motive? Always ask what their motive is. And if good God, can you imagine? If they say something like, I just want to help you. No, they don't. Who are they, Gandhi? No, this is not altruism here. That's not what it is. It's narcissism at best. All right, friends. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you. That is the end. I know it's crazy. Here we are yet again at the end of another video. I hope you have a great day, night, weekend whenever you're watching this. Again, thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Use the code CCSUAREZ55 at checkout for 55% off your first month at Scentbird. I will have all of the fragrances linked down below, and then the link for that as well. So thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video. Again, thank you to you guys for supporting my sponsors. Really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay spicy, even though the sign isn't here. It's literally just me in, like, an empty room. I know it's weird. It's okay. We'll be fine. Okay, goodbye.